Well folks, buckle up. Donald Trump is back in the White House. Yes, you heard that right. The man who makes a screaming toddler seem like a Zen master has somehow convinced enough Americans to give him a second term. After years of resisting his every move, Democrats are changing tactics. They're actually considering working with Trump. I know. It sounds as likely as Ted Cruz spontaneously combusting in a vat of mayonnaise. But hear me out. This isn't about suddenly liking the guy who thinks windmills cause cancer. It's about pragmatism. Democrats want to make life better for working families, and if that means occasionally finding common ground with Trump, well, they're willing to give it a shot. This new strategy is all about picking battles carefully. Democrats will fight tooth and nail against Trump's more outlandish proposals. Think nationwide abortion bans, tax cuts for billionaires, and replacing the national anthem with Kid Rock's greatest hits. But when it comes to populist policies that actually help ordinary Americans, well, they're open to negotiation. This new approach has some unlikely allies singing the same tune. You've got Bernie Sanders, the socialist grandpa everyone wants to share a Werther's original with, cautiously optimistic about working with Trump on capping credit card interest rates. Then there's Elizabeth Warren, the progressive firebrand who once famously told Trump, "I've got a plan for that," now saying she's willing to give him a chance on this one. Even Pramila Jayapal, the head honcho of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, is open to teaming up with Trump on antitrust issues. Look, I'm not saying they're suddenly best friends braiding each other's hair and having sleepovers, but they are recognizing that sometimes you have to work with people you don't particularly like to get things done. But let's not forget, this isn't just a one-way street. Trump and his buddies also stand to gain from this unlikely alliance. Trump loves to tout himself as the champion of the working class. And what better way to prove it than by enacting policies that actually help them in this economy? So, where exactly do these two opposing forces find common ground? Well, there are a few key areas where their interests align. One big one is capping credit card interest rates. We're talking about those predatory rates that can trap families in a cycle of debt. Trump has publicly supported this idea in the past and Democrats are eager to hold him to it. Then there's protecting Social Security and Medicare. These programs are lifelines for millions of Americans, and Trump has promised not to touch them. Democrats will be watching closely to make sure he keeps his word. And let's not forget about lowering prescription drug prices. This is an issue that unites Americans across the political spectrum. Everybody hates Big Pharma. If Trump is serious about tackling this issue, Democrats will be right there with him. Of course, the devil is always in the details. The specifics of these policies will be hotly debated, but the fact that both sides are even talking about these issues is a sign that maybe, just maybe, progress is possible. Now before you start planning your Democrats and Trump BFFs forever party, let's be realistic. There are some major obstacles to this whole collaboration thing. First up, you've got the Republican-controlled Congress. These guys are about as likely to pass progressive policies as Mitch McConnell is to crack a smile. Then there's the fact that Democrats don't exactly have a ton of power in Washington right now. They're outnumbered in both the House and the Senate. Trying to get anything done in that environment is like trying to herd cats while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. But despite the challenges, Democrats are determined to make this work. They're banking on public pressure to hold Trump accountable. Polls show that even Trump voters support policies like lowering drug prices and cracking down on corporate greed. So, if Trump goes back on his word, he'll have to answer to the very people who put him in office. Look, I'm not naive. I know this whole thing could go sideways faster than a raccoon in a shopping cart. But I also believe that even in these divided times, there's still room for common ground. And if Democrats can manage to pull this off, it could be a win for everyone, except maybe Mitch McConnell.